So today I'm going to do another men's makeup look using a selection of products that I was sent by a British brand called MMUK Man, which you can see here. So I've got a foundation, I've got one of the concealers to play with, a couple of brushes, and I've also got an eyebrow product here, if you can see that, and then also this, which is like an eyebrow shaper. So today I'm just going to have like a play around with the different products and see the kind of look that I can create with them. I was a little bit unsure about the shade selection and which ones to choose, so I asked the team there to actually help me find some shades to choose. It is always a bit trial and error choosing online, but with this, I kind of like this brand because it's kind of one of the first that I've heard of that make a selection of makeup products specifically for men. Again, you don't have to kind of get this type of product specifically for men. It's about finding the color that's right for your skin and that gives you the finish that you want. But I feel like makeup for men is still like a little bit taboo and stuff like that, and some people feel a bit uncomfortable and whatever. So I feel like if a brand have kind of gone the extra mile to create something specifically for men, then kind of I'm on board with it, and I want to have a play around, see what the products are like, and see kind of the finish that I can create. So I'm going to start with one pump on the back of my hand, which I reckon is going to be quite a lot. Now these, I did say that I did not want anything too light. I don't want anything the exact colour of my skin. If anything, I like it slightly deeper because I wear the SPF, otherwise I just end up looking really pale. So I did tell them to send something slightly deeper, but this is kind of on the deep side. But because I've got a tan, I reckon this is going to be all right. So I'm going to start like in the centre of my face and then like work it outwards. Because like around the sides of my temples and stuff like that, I don't need any product at all. So I'm just going to start there and then spread it out with my fingers, because I just feel like that warms up the product and just helps it like distribute across your face. And I have to say this is quite nice. My skin's like not its best because I just got back from holiday. And my skin was just like a little bit irritated from flying and then the heat and all of that. But this seems to be, I quite like the finish. The coverage isn't extreme. I'm actually just applying this really lightly. Because, you know, if you've seen my last video I did, I like a really nice natural finish. Just you know, like my skin but better, rather than looking like I'm wearing makeup. But if you do kind of want to like a more makeup look, then this is definitely buildable. I actually feel like this applies really nice with the fingers, so I'm just going to kind of carry on there, and then it's just the areas where I'm going to be really careful are around like my beard, so not to apply anything like there. It's basically just around the sides of my nose where I need the most coverage. And you can just see it's like warmed up my skin tone quite nicely, and I feel like it goes with my neck okay. But what I think I'll do is, just like with what's left on the brush, there's barely anything there, I'm just gonna like stroke that down my neck and the backs of my ears, just to make sure that it's really even. But I kind of like the finish that's left on the skin. I feel like it's really, really nice. Now, there's a concealer, but I've got a feeling, also by the way, literally I've used, there's still so much of that left, so a whole pump is way too much for what I wanted. And then the concealer is very similar to it's got like a doe foot applicator. You can see that. So I think this is probably a little bit too dark, so I have got something paler. I don't like a bright concealer, that's for sure, but I do feel like that might be a little bit too dark. But I like the consistency. I must say, I feel like the products are really good in terms of, you know, how they work. But I just feel like I do need something a tiny bit brighter underneath my eyes. So I've got something here that I'm just going to dab on top just to lift that a little bit. Just keep tapping that into place. Yeah, I have to say, that concealer that I used before, even though it's a bit too dark, which is a shame, the actual finish of it, I really like. It's nice and natural, as is the foundation. So I think that's quite good. Yeah, that's better. That's just brightened it up. And again, it's just like taken away my dark circles, but it hasn't eradicated them completely, because it's always good to leave a little bit of your imperfections so that they're still visible. So then it kind of tricks people into thinking that you've got nothing on at all. So that's good. Next, I'm going to put on a little bit of the eyebrow powder. So this looks quite dark. This is in shade, oh, by the way, I haven't told you the shade, sorry. The foundation is in N5 Cool Neutral, which I think is really, really good. I prefer something not too pinky, and it's got like a little bit of pink in there, but not too much. It's more like a beigey tone, which I like. The under eye concealer is in N55 Cool Neutral. Okay, and then this for the eyebrows is in Dark Brunette. So that's probably a little bit too dark for me. I'm just going to use this little brush here, and I'm, you know, literally just going to barely touch that. Like, I've barely touched it in there. And then what's left, I'm just going to tap it onto my hand, the back of my hand like this, and then I'm hoping you can see this. And then just brush it over. Start with one. It's not too, this blends in really nicely. So you can see that's just given it a little bit more definition, but this is quite pigmented. So, you need a little bit. But the good thing is because I just applied it quite hard on this side, but it's just, I'm brushing it back out again, and that is blending really nicely into the things. That's, again, that is quite a deep brow for me, but I don't mind, I have to say. What do you think? I need just a fraction more on this side. To even them up. My window's open and I can hear like children playing in the background. I don't know if you can hear that, it's quite sweet. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over with this. This is like a clear brow gel. That will help like merge the powder that I've just used with my brows. But it's got no colour in it, so I don't have to worry about making a mess. And I like that because that just like sets the hairs in place. It's always good to kind of brush them up a bit in the front and just brings everything together. And bearing in mind that I don't pluck my brows because they're just so, there's not much to them. So I feel like, you know, I haven't got like the most precise shape in my brows, but I feel like it's all come together quite nicely. So I'm happy with that. So I feel like that's kind of like enough for the look. I don't want to go in with anything else. I feel like the shade has just really warmed up my skin. It's gone quite nicely with the tan that I've got. I'm not sure if it's like the exact shade that I would normally use, but I feel like it's come together quite nicely. So I would say that I really like the product. The foundation's good. It goes on nice and sheer. It's always important to prep your skin first. So I just put like some moisturizer on. Depending on your skin type, you can decide which moisturizer you want to use. So I like a little bit of hydration, so I would use that type of moisturizer. But if you've got like oily skin, then it's really good to perhaps use something mattifying before, and then it will just help prime your skin, but without kind of overloading it with moisture so the makeup starts sliding around or anything like that. It gives like a nice slightly dewy finish. I've got a couple of like, you know, imperfections like on my cheeks here. I don't really want to go over with any concealer or anything like that because I feel like it's just going to make it too much, but it's just, yeah, sorted out my skin tone, brightened me up a little bit, and just kind of made me look a little bit more groomed. If you've got any questions, leave a comment down below, and like if you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.